something that I struggle with as a guitar maker, but also just as a creative person in general, is the curse, so to speak, of creativity. And anytime you're a creative person, uh, there's a good likelihood that you've probably experienced the same thing I do, where just the nature of being creative, you've got maybe more ideas than you can ever feasibly make, and the real curse maybe being that you have this drive to take this idea that you've had and bring it to life, turn it into reality, bring it into fruition. Um, Oftentimes, there's barely enough hours in the day to finish the 10 or 15 or 20 projects you've already gotten started, and yet you find yourself starting 10 or 20 more and jotting down ideas furiously on note cards or notebooks or in journals. Maybe you're using an electronic device to save your ideas or sketches, and they all seem important the moment they occur. And then oftentimes we filter them out and decide, that's not worth pursuing, or you see something else that, oh, that's better anyway. I'm not going to waste my time on this crazy idea. But then there are other ones that you realize this might be cool. I gotta see what happens with this. I gotta try making one of these, and I've got a bunch of stuff I'd love to show you on camera right now, but I'm kind of trying to hold back a little bit, not because of any one reason, but the main one being, I guess, I'm trying to think of how I can organize these videos in such a way that it's not just absolute chaos. I like the train of thought, stream of consciousness kind of content on YouTube. So obviously I feel like that kind of works for me with this. And with that in mind, I'm kind of trying to choose one or two topics that seem to fit well together for quick talk like this. And I don't want to just start pulling random stuff and not have it connect to the idea that I'm talking about. So this idea of creativity, I had a specific example I'm going to show you in a second. I'm kind of looking around at what I have already started and the ongoing, continuing to add to list that keeps growing, and the new ideas that keep evolving, and kind of trying to filter through what's the most important, and then you pull two or three things off the back burner and you throw something else on the side burner, but you got to finish a couple other things up before you start the next one. So right now I'm kind of in the process of like clearing the deck, and a lot of that's coming down to both organization as well as going ahead and pushing through some of those older ideas that got started, maybe put on the back burner, and then left to simmer a little too long. You got to get them done, push them through, and move on to the new stuff. And at the same time, I feel like I don't want to, nor maybe can I, turn off the flood of new ideas that comes from time to time. And there are days and weeks where I have no ideas at all, just nothing. And that's fine. You just get up, you work through the stuff you've already got on the docket, which is great. And then there's other times where you're still working through all that stuff that you've already got going, and you get hit with all the new ideas as well. And so, obviously I've been doing this long enough where I've got a way that I write things down and I keep track of it, kind of organize it archaeologically in a stack. But somehow it surprises me how much of it becomes reality. And some of it just keeps upcycling and recycling and popping back up. I'm going to go ahead and show you a specific example of what I'm talking about. But this was something, I think I purchased these years ago, maybe as many as, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, maybe longer. This is a stack of yardsticks from a big box store. I'll try to cover up the name. Just a stack of yardsticks. And why would anyone buy a stack of yardsticks if you're a guitar maker? Why do you need that many yardsticks? They're not particularly good for instrument making because they're not that accurate, or not accurate enough to be able to really use them for fine measurements for instrument making. Exactly my point. But I have this stack of yardsticks because I had read, I believe it was an article, and I can't remember where the source was now, but the article was basically explaining that these 1,000-year-old Sitka spruce trees in Alaska were being cut down and harvested and turned into things like toilet paper and consumer goods. And they're just basically submerging the tree in some kind of an acidic solution and breaking it down in these gigantic tanks. And just like the horror of watching these ancient giant trees be cut down and harvested for their pulp. Like there was no greater value to them than the wood pulp inside of them. And it's stomach churning to think about that. So I'm pretty sure it's true. And I recall seeing some photos in the article, so I was well convinced at the time that this was happening. And I'm hopeful that it's maybe reduced, but who knows if it's still going on or not. I try to buy ethically sourced materials all the time, but I had seen that article and was walking through one of these big box stores and saw this stack of rulers, and it crossed my mind that those are probably from some ancient Sitka spruce tree that was just some magnificent creature living in the woods and was hacked down and turned into yardsticks. So my thought was, well, maybe I can give it a second life. I'll buy some of these $1 yardsticks because they're 99 cents, something like that, very affordable. And I looked at the yardsticks and I noticed that the grain lines were perfectly quarter sawn. I'll speak more about grain direction maybe in a future video if you don't know what that means, but the yardsticks, let me grab one and show you here. So if I show the camera, the grain direction is perfectly vertical throughout the whole yardstick. And the whole stack is like that. Most of them are very similar in color as well. And so my plan was to use the yardsticks and assemble them into a multi-piece guitar top. Now most of us are used to using a one-piece or two-piece guitar top. And thought, well, there's nothing wrong with an 8 or 10-piece guitar top. The glue joints technically will be stronger than the wood anyway, so I might have to thin it out a little more than usual just because of the extra stiffness. And so I thought, well, this will be an interesting project and maybe something I can show, future clients and explain grain direction, and all those ideas are coming to mind. So anyway, I bought these yardsticks many years ago. They're still in yardstick form. But I thought, well, maybe this YouTube thing would be a good excuse to go ahead and continue that idea and pull it off the back burner and convert the yardsticks into a functional guitar top. So hopefully you might be interested in that. If you think it's a cool idea, stick around, stay tuned. I'll try to update you on the progress as I start to go ahead and make the guitar top out of these yardsticks. But I couldn't help and enjoy the clickbaity idea of a title to call it "One Guitar to Rule Them All," as if, because the guitar was made out of rulers. Yeah, I know, a little obvious, but I can't shake it. So now it exists, or it'll be a thing. If it turns out great, that'll be awesome. I haven't decided what to make the back and sides out of yet. I do maple, I could do mahogany. It's not particularly important to me. But I showed that idea to a couple people who were taking classes with me and working with me on building instruments, and they were amused at the very least by the concept. So we'll see how the one guitar to rule them all turns out. And in the meantime, I've got quite a few other instruments going on. 2026 is looking like it's going to be a great year for instrument making for me, but that's because I'll be making instruments regardless. That's what I do. So I was thinking to myself that I am probably going to have to dub this the year of the arch top. I have a suspicion that I'll be making very many arch tops this year. Maybe as many as 10 or 12. We'll see if I get that far. I know I'll at least be building at least 4 or 5. That's a minimum. But they are an absolute blast. So I have quite a few more ideas for videos coming up, and I may go ahead and treat it like a bit of a maybe not a how-to series, but more of a progress on the instruments, and as they go through production, or as I go through building the instruments, some of the steps and processes that I use to create these instruments. If you find it intriguing to learn more about arch tops, please let me know. Or if you like the idea of one guitar to rule them all, and you decide to build your own, go for it. I would say you can probably, in some cases, depending on your supplier, get an actual 2-piece guitar top for close to, if not less than, the cost of 10 or so yardsticks. It's probably not much different in price at this point in time, but it appears to be like, it looks to me like it should work quite well. If anything, the grain spacing on these yardsticks is maybe tighter than I would want. So in any case, I'll let you know how it turns out, or I'll show something in terms of a video in the future as I work ahead through that. If you haven't played your guitar yet today and you're looking for something to do, don't forget to pick up your guitar and give it a strum. Play it for a little while. It needs some attention, and try not to watch too many YouTube videos. That probably hurts the algorithm if I say that, but enjoy your life. Don't forget to go outside once in a while. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.